as to showing up to this retreat that we're going to be running in August. But unfortunately, we have to get on these things to talk about what it is we're up to in this world, because not everybody knows what everybody's up to. We're all up to such great things. So I've come up today, and Jeff is to come in today to talk about what does it mean to be the voice of change, and what change are we in right now? And I feel like humanity is in such a big freaking moment. Can you guys feel it? Can you feel what we're all doing here right now, and how beautifully blessed we are to be part of this movement? It's like this humanity has a decision to make. We have a choice right now as to how we're going to move everything forward. Okay, let me see. I think Jeffy's here. He is. Okay, wait. Are you coming in? I'm accepting. Interesting. There he is. Ah, that was me beginning to intro and fill us in, but woo, we made it happen. So good.
Good
And I want
morning.
to thank the 25 of you who are still hanging on because of how rocky that start was. But hopefully more and more people will want to come in and hear this incredible conversation. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for bearing with my lack of technical prowess.
It's okay. I have a Dharma shed where I normally do these calls from. The internet went down. Then I came in here and the sound kind of quit on itself and you couldn't come in. And I kind of have this laugh about it because I really honestly believe that when real connection is about to be made by like the deepest truth, that the rest of the powers that be like like we don't want to hear this stuff. We don't want to see humanity actually come online again and awaken and come back to the truth and actually take their power back and actually help this world move to a better place. We'd rather just like keep you in the algorithm, keep shut down, keep you in whatever, right? Like we're in control, right? So I don't know if that's what just happened, or as I said, if we are just needing to work on that technology more than the technologies that you and I spend most of our time focused on. But either way, it is really, really an honor to have this conversation. So thanks for joining me today.
Yes, indeed. So excited to be with everyone.
So for those of you who are watching this that do not know who Jeff Firewalker is, he is a great teacher of mine. I have studied with him in the Eagle Condor training, which is the training of the Caro and the Paco people, the original wisdom keepers of this world, up in the Andean cosmology teachings. And what a life-changing course that is. And that trip that we took to Asangate and went up there and got to spend time with those mountains and with those ways. I will never be the same from that. And now I am honored to carry those teachings forward. And so aside from that, Jeff, I would really love if you could kind of give the people of my audience here that are meeting you for the first time, if you could kind of give an introduction to who you are and what you're up to.
Absolutely. I'd be delighted. So thank you for those kind words, Maryn. It's been a real delight over the last couple of years getting to know you and collaborating in various ways and being in circle together. So my greatest passion in life is really teaching and gathering circles of amazing people and doing really fun and sometimes challenging things. I am I guess, recovering university professor. I was in academia for over 40 years, and my last post was running a big innovation center at a medical school, and I've done quite a lot of traditional scientific research, and I like to invent things, so I've been an inventor all my life, and have a lot of patents around healthcare and wellness, that sort of thing. And then about, goodness gracious, we're going almost 7 years, I stepped down from academia to exclusively focus on running the Eagle Condor Council, which is our nonprofit with our sister organization run by my dear sister Leah Motlow, Golden Threads. And as Maryn indicated, we focus on the cosmology and native wisdom teachings and healing technologies of South America, particularly focused on on Peru. And so I'm also a musician. I for better or worse, I'm a Gemini, so I lead multiple lives and like to keep lots of creative balls in the air. I've been a musician at various levels of dedication and commitment on and off all my life, and I really enjoy that. But at the core, beyond all of that, one of my deepest interests is consciousness and the big picture, and that's one of the things that I always try to bring to our circles and to my teachings is to offer a perspective perhaps that is not that frequently spoken of, a perspective that ultimately I pray helps each person own more of their sovereignty and own more of the miracle of what it is to be a human being, an embodied soul. And the thing is, we are in a time of prophecy right now, and all the rules of engagement, the very basis of how consciousness and matter are interacting, the very basis of how the soul is embodied is in a brilliant transformation. So, sort of amid all of the chaos and apparent destruction, what is being birthed right now is very significant. And each one of us, and every moment, have the choice either to be part of the solution of the awakening or to be part of the problem. Every moment, every breath. And one of the things that excites me so much about working with Maryn is that right now there is the counter-evolutionary forces that always come up in times of prophecy are very powerfully working against human sovereignty and working against human community. And what stands at the center of that is the voice. The voice is what right now at this time is the translator, the medium that lets others know what is our heart. And that is the medicine right now. So, this retreat that we're architecting together is going to be about sovereignty, about awakening, about being strong in the unknowing, and how to relate your inner experience, your inner wisdom, your capacity to make change in the world with a new depth of capacity in storytelling, in song, in vibrational medicine. That is really super exciting to me.
Yeah, me too. I want to talk about something that you said at the very beginning of our course together of the Eagle Condor teachings. And it was about prophecy because you said something that was so, it just stuck with me that the Eagle Condor prophecy is a prophecy of South American, that where the eagle and the condor fly in the sky together, when the South American ways and the North American ways merge, when the modern world and the ancient practices of the nature mystics and working with the earth come together, then we'll see the new golden, dawn of man and the new age upon us. And I see so many of us stepping into that, wanting to learn more and wanting to really connect with the earth now because we feel that disconnection. But what you said, which was a prophecy, is really just a future vision and a belief. So we have tons of prophecies in this world. We have one particular prophecy that has actually dominated the entire globe, right? Has traveled from its source all the way around, has killed people in its name, has done tons of things. And we see a whole lot of us looking towards that, saying oh, is that going to be the true prophecy? Right? But what you said, which went in what my work is that a prophecy is only as strong as the number of people who actually believe in it. And this is huge when it comes to the voice, because so many of us walk around with a feeling of our voice is not strong enough. But the truth of the matter is every single human has an equal vote in this world. It doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire lawmaker or whether you're, a homemaker, a farmer somewhere in the middle of somewhere we might not even know, right? It doesn't matter who you are or what you think you've accomplished or anything in this world, every human is holding a frequency that is a vote for how this world is going to go. And a prophecy is a belief that all of us are going to plug into. And I remember when you said that, I was like, oh, when the nature ways and the technological ways come together, and we actually see all of these ways uniting and people coming together in truth and goodness, then will dawn. I'm going to follow that prophecy. Thank you very much. Not that the world is going to end, that World War III is amongst us, that everyone's got to die, that only one God will remain, like all these other prophecies that many people might have seen in their abilities of like, if it goes this way, this is where it's going to end up. It's so important for us to know that nobody is writing this story ahead of us. We are writing this story right now. And so every one of our votes matters and every one of our voices matters so much. So in my work, it's that your voice actually materializes. What you speak becomes reality. And many of us have been so silenced in how we truly feel and what we truly want for life because we don't even think it's possible anymore because someone else's vote is going to be more powerful than my vote. But that is where we have to turn things around for humanity. And coming back to nature, is everything because this earth is in every cell of our body. Our instinctual intelligence, our emotional intelligence, our humanity is what will drive us to a brighter future together. But our humanity is what's at stake right now. Really, what's being asked. We're being asked to become a computerized organic being, right? So anyway, I'd like to like pass this back off from there, just like prophecy and what we're working towards creating. You know, what is this union?
Well, you have expressed so many beautiful things, Maryn. Um, it is true that we are in a place of prophecy around the globe. Um, it's hard. One is actually hard pressed to find a native culture that does not have a prophecy about this time. And you know, one of the most fascinating things about the prophecies of the South American Andes is that they point to the necessity of the prophecy is this: there will be a time when the earth catches a fever and the glaciers begin to melt, and that will be our signal to come off of the mountain heights and meet our light-skinned brothers and sisters from the north and weave together a new future. And this future is referred to as the Teri Pai Pacha, and it is very similar to prophecies around the world. And there is one thing that it emphasizes, I think, that maybe sets it apart a little bit, and that is that this prophecy successfully navigated will put us in a place where one's own soul level healing, one's complete harmonization with the ancestry, one's deepest awakening will no longer require one to get annihilated and ground to a pulp, as most aspirants are pretty used to at this level of organization. Even the very rules of that we ascribe to physical systems, physical laws, may change. And so, what is the place to express from in this moment? It's a place of profound sovereignty that is beyond the mind, beyond logic, beyond all the things that we grasp. And how do we gain confidence to be an agent of prophecy? Well, we do that in community. We do that in sacred circle. And so we come together as confident carriers of medicine to sit and witness and be part of the unknowing. It's very likely that the codes and the information that is required for us to embody are not going to be coming from the field of thought and from the mind. They're going to be coming from pure vibration, and many of this much of this essence sourced from nature, because the land remembers. And it's very likely that humanity at least two-leggeds of some form, have been at this juncture, at this very juncture, more than once on the planet. It's just not part of the historical record. Pachamama, Mother Earth, her surface churns so much that even things that happened 100,000 years ago, the majority of those things are completely hidden because Mama skin, just like our skin, churns and turns over and sheds. So coming together in sacred harmony allows us to create a very sensitive antenna. And that sensitive antenna is really what, for each of us, will buoy our capacity to be part of prophecy, to make really positive change in the world. And, all of us, every one of us, have an opportunity to get more clear about what our motivation is to make change, to see a different world, to be part. And I think, one of the things that is really special about this retreat and our coming together is that there is a perpetual opportunity for having a sacred mirror held up for each one of us so that we can get more clear about the nature and fuel behind our aspiration. And so when we do that, we come nearer and nearer to the power of prophecy. And just like Maryn said, we're all we've got. It depends on us saying yes to the unknowing, to the possibility that we're going to get across this gauntlet and inhabit a universe that is more splendorous than we could even imagine at this moment, where each person has truly achieved what mystics from the beginning of time on this planet have attempted to achieve, and that is to have an intimate, powerful relationship with spirit that is so deep, that is so rewarding, that is so sovereignty giving, that you don't need external agency. You don't need anything else but the trust of your heart to do that. This is the path of the mystic, and that means that what characterizes, one of the things that characterizes this transformation, this is really good news, is that on the other side of this, we will cease to slaughter our mystics. Our mystics will finally be held in tremendous providence and tremendous respect. We will all be mystics on the other side of this.
When we can listen, we already are them. So, I ask you on that watching this, like, do you know how connected and powerful you are? It is a conversation that came with your body, it came with your birth. And the deeper you can listen, the clearer that conversation actually is. And then we look at a world and say, well, no, but that's not the way the world is. And then I would ask, okay, what are we going to do to align what we know deep within to how the world out there is? And our issue is we are being fed a few little stories of like, this is how that's going to go. And the more we're fed it, the more we eat it, buy into it, and say, oh my God. And then fear is what's there. And so Patrick and I have been playing with fear as false evidence appearing real. and this, okay, so many of you could say no, but there's real evidence, Maryn, it's not false at all. And I would say, but we're creating it as well. So the more that we fear something, the more our energy moves towards the creation of it. Because at an ego level, at a mind level, at a logic level, we don't want to be afraid of something that doesn't exist. So we actually step in to create that thing. In the paralysis that the fear creates means we are not activating anything different than what that fear is. We're just creating that fear from the one headspace, and then we have to watch it play out in reality so that our egos don't feel wrong about being so fearful. And again, to that like future where we can really understand what the body is, because it's earth and all of the information and intelligence that is in here, and to know that the earth's intelligence is regenerative intelligence. Like you just said, the skin that keeps coding it and coding it, right? How much is underneath our skin that is telling a story through us? And with our own voice, can we go in there and vibrationally shift from the inside out so that what frequency we're giving to the world is one that will regenerate rebuild, regrow, write something new. I keep seeing a human race that writes the same story again and again because we're so afraid of things we've been traumatized by happening again. We just keep creating it again. And so if we could just step away from the fear that is being, and actually move into the power of creation that lives within us, what we can do and what we can do fast, right, Jeff? I'm not sure if you agree with me here, but I feel like time is such an illusory thing. And we have all these conversations as well about like, how many years it's going to take to rebuild things, how long, how far away from it we are. But I actually don't agree with that at all. And I'm here to test that as a human, that if in this time space continuum, in this quantum field, we can probably fix things very rapidly if we actually would just wake up and get to it instead of just watching and eating whatever these counter evolutionary forces want us to eat to paralyze us while that continues. And we are coming out. We are coming out so big, you guys. I love this man that I'm talking to because he is an activated soul who is also saying, come on, guys, let's do this. Let's like remember everything and bring it back to balance, bring it back to Aini, to reciprocity, to goodness, so we can love our lives and love each other again. And this is not an impossibility. This is an absolute possibility when we show up for it.
Absolutely. What I'm excited about all of us doing together at this retreat is having a different look at these sort. You mentioned fear. Fear is the principal driver of our our separation from being able to see things in their true nature. And what is so interesting is the great accelerator, I believe, the thing that will create the most punctuated evolution that you speak of, the transformation that is rapid and effortless, is upscripting the narrative, understanding that the counter evolutionary forces are actually using adaptive strategies that we have essentially come to use over a very long period of time, that actually has helped us survive and adapt in difficult environments. For instance, the biggest one, negativity bias. Negativity bias simply means that when you are exposed to something that you've not seen before, that's a novel stimulus, a novel thing, your reaction, your necessary reaction, is going to be negative rather than positive. And basically, so you are out in the forest and you encounter this huge tiger and you've never seen a tiger before, and rather than say, oh, I want to pet that cute, beautiful thing, you're like, oh boy, I'm going to walk the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Those sorts of adaptive strategies are woven unconsciously into our beings and are feeding the negativity that and the fear that we're all that people are so trapped by right now. But if we see the big picture, and if we share in story and song and vibrational medicine this understanding, this compassionate understanding that, gosh, all these things that they're working against us right now, at one time were actually working for us, and we have to compassionately lay them down, put them to rest, not fight against them, and direct a lot of love and compassion to the people that are caught in those places and that are still using divisively those, in a way, obsolete tools and ways of coping. And that will give us new voice. It's a very important thing, and coming together is important. It's I really think remote technology and Instagram and Zoom are great, but there is nothing that substitutes for humans coming together in one another's heart field to do this work. And I kid you not, a circle of 20 people, a circle of 30 people can be as powerful as an entire army in this time.
Oh, yes. When we're doing it, when you're doing it in this way, I've sat in ceremony with you, which we'll be doing on this retreat, and I have felt a group of people like touch the highest of the high and send it out to blanket the entire world. And a small group, 20 to 30 people, can move inside of you and shift the way you move in the world, that will go out to influence everything in the whole space-time continuum. And I'm so positive of it. One of the things that the voice does, I had a student yesterday tell me how much of her heaviness has been shifted into levity by this vocal work. And she said it so beautifully. She said, you know, moving the sound the way we work it with the muscles and moving the sound all the way up is really taking what gravity like has us holding down, and our soul has the ability, our spirit and our soul has the ability to move it up and put it to work, but to create this real feeling of levity inside, like you're defying gravity. And the power in that, of knowing that you can fly. This is how I feel humans fly, through our voice. It's how our soul can feel larger than the body that we feel minimizes our potential, like this thing that we're in, which isn't really a thing at all, but we like to lock into this thing. Um, that can actually, you can feel so much bigger, which makes you feel so much more potent and powerful and confident and self-assured and vital, and all those things that we have such a hard time accessing now. So I heard you say singing just now when you were sharing, and I was like, I want people to know, who might be interested in this retreat, that yes, there will be some singing, and that singing will occur when you are good and ready, and you want to use that voice. But the voice work that we're really doing throughout this retreat is tapping into the authentic, connected voice of the body itself. So really allowing the body to support sound in this way, where that levity is what ultimately happens. And how the voice functions is through the heart chakra as the largest resonator of the voice. So when we start to do this voice work, and you're going to connect into the earth, and you're going to connect into Taita Inti and the sun, and spirit, and all of everything that we are, and then begin to work a voice through the body and wake up its innate intelligence, but also feel it, not in a way that's trapped and small, but in a way that is alive and vibrant and really moving against, defying gravity as it moves through your heart chakra. And you can feel just how powerful your love is, which is, not to sound cliche, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That song has become like, it plays in my head, even though, yeah, cheesy world. But I always say that we think things are cheesy. The ego thinks things are cheesy or cliche, that are basic truths that it can't grasp. Right? So we find it, we make it kind of like the silly thing, but honestly, guys, it's love. It's all love, and it's love that's going to heal this whole thing. And every channel that we turn on that shows us separation, segregation, violence, criminalization, everything, just every part of us that's being torn apart and put down right now, we need the opposite of it, and we need it fast. We need people to come together and sing and chant and pray and move this energy, not into this solitary place, but out to the wellness of it all. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing on this retreat together. So
Yes, indeed. One of the things I really love about your approach, and how you've articulated your approach, is that it brings us into the miracle of our bodies, and that when we do that, we are able to access the profound truth telling that our body is capable of. Our bodies will never lie to us. And when we get out of our mind and out of the mental models and constructs and conditioning and indoctrination and into our bodies, we have a different capacity to speak truth.
mhm.
Truth is felt. And this is big. This is so important right now. If you want to make change in the world, it can't come from a place of the mind. Truthfully, sustained change can't just come even if you have an IQ of 250, it's impossible. Right now, it has to come from a much, much more whole place. And my deepest prayer is that, you know, Maryn and I holding this container in this space will help each person to find their own path to that integrated whole functioning that will allow your aspiration to be fully empowered, because it is about the whole self and the whole self's connection to nature. By the way, what happens is that when we integrate like that, there's this spontaneous reconnection with the great order of things. The great order of things, it's a matter of sympathetic resonance. When the great order of things recognizes and says, oh my goodness, she's done it, she's aligned, all of a sudden you have so many more resources and everything becomes more effortless. And wouldn't it be great if our change making, our aspiration weren't a boxing match at every step, if it were graceful and full of ease and full of beautiful sound?
Yes, which connects your frequency with the whole world. And that's it, alignment. Alignment. What are we aligning to? And when we actually find our inner truth and we know ourself in the whole self, not the little ego self, but when we actually can see how that ego self is there related to the grand self that we are and the whole thing that we're connected to, and we can find ourselves in right alignment with that. It's exactly what you're saying. It's actually really easy, everyone. Like I'm in this field of manifestation, and that word that's used, or manifestation, and it's this idea that we want to create something of ourselves. We have these incredible creative potentials and instincts, and everything that we feel and do wants to move into some form of contribution, some form of creation. We want to manifest something of our life. And with that, when you get into alignment, it's so easeful, because you're not doing this on your own. Nobody's doing this on their own. But when we live in a world where we feel isolated and separate from this source, we are just constantly working so hard to like these little wins or losses or any of that. But what I have found in my life and my work and what I teach, thousands of people, is that this alignment, that this vibrational alignment that moves through your chakra system, that moves through your whole embodiment and your connection to the greater sources that are always feeding you, because we are not isolated cells. We're part of a full body that's working together. When you actually get yourself in alignment to that, how quickly and easily these wins can come, these changes can come, these creations can move forth. And I think that's probably my biggest teaching. And with you, Jeff, it's, can we create a loving, peaceful world in connection with the earth? Can all humans step into abundance and what that truly means? Step into the one that we really are. Like, one of the things about the Eagle Condor teachings and the Pacos in general and the Andean teachings that we have learned, that I've learned through you, is the generosity of that prophecy. Which is, when those glaciers start to melt, we will come down off of our mountaintop. They're called the wisdom keepers. If those of you don't know the name given to these people who live like 16,000 feet above sea level on these mountains, and they say it very clearly, we hold on to that wisdom and keep these practices until everyone's ready to return to them. And so this moment of, I'm going to come off that mountain and meet everybody else and offer what I am and learn from them and do this all together. And that's the key there, right? It's not like my way is the way and it's not ours and we're holding on to it and you don't have any right to it. None of that energy exists, and it can't exist anymore. Whatever is available for us to tap into the source that is available to each and every one of us. And that source is Pachamama. That source is the planetary intelligence. Like, we are it. And the more we listen to it, the more we understand the way forward. And the more we also understand that we're all the same. which is so important right now for us to grasp. We are all the same and we all need each other in ways that we can't even possibly imagine. So I'm calling the forces together. We're calling the forces together. Everyone who's ready to come to 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 step into a container to meet these highest selves in front and with each other and to unify, to begin to move a prophecy of love, a prophecy of health, a prophecy of sacred reciprocity with the planet that gives us life, a prophecy of regeneration, of compassion, of the goodness of life, of coming back together and wielding a humanity that can reclaim its joyful expression. Imagine that. What I hear more
Woo!
than anything in my work with countless people is I don't feel joy anymore. I've lost my joy. And one of the primary teachings of the voice work is that it's your factory setting. You came into this world joyful. That first cry that you cried was a cry of joy. It was not a cry of, oh God, earth, how terrible. You don't have any of that going on. You are a brand new life in the body. Everything's coming online, and there's tons of sensation associated with that. And you let out a big vocal cry. I am here, and I am ready. I'm ready for this thing. Like, let's go. And then they try to pummel that out of us every step of the way. They try to just like dim the light, put down the fire. You're too much. It's too big. Quiet. Shh. Hold it in. Whatever it is they've done to us, to you on this call, time to come back to the joy.
Right. Woo!
Just enjoy it. This is supposed to be a fun go round, y'all, and we've made it a battle. We've made it war. What if we make it peace? Can we do it?
I,
What do you think? You think we could do it, Jeff?
well, I guess it's funny. I guess since most of you all are Maryn's spiritual family, it's pretty obvious that this gathering that we're going to have is going to be a lot of fun. It's just a prerequisite. I wonder. I've been kind of following the text thread that's at the bottom, and it seems like there might be a few people that have questions. Is there a time that we can open this up
I
to
think
addressing
now would be a good time to, if there are questions. I'm sorry if we missed your questions. I could try to scroll back down and see. Let me see if I could see. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm seeing comments, and I want to say Hari Om back to India. Thank you so much for joining us. And I just love that this is a global effort, and it must be the human voices must come back online.
Let's see. Arjun Maharam Music says, "Can I ask a question?" I guess that might have been what I saw.
Okay, so June, if you're still on the call, go ahead and type that question in right now so that it comes up now. And
Oh, here's a practical question. When is the event?
oh,
That's a good
that's a
one.
very good question. Go ahead and tell him, Jeff.
Um, I need to find out when it
It's
is myself.
August 21st. Very good. So it's August 21st. It's that weekend. It is a weekend event. And a lot of my events are full weeks, which make it hard for some people to take that time off. But we have very specifically going to go strong and have our first gathering together be a weekend. So it is August 21st. It's in Woodburn, New York, in upstate New York. And one of the things I'll say is you can comment or DM me. What should we have them DM? I would say we DM Voice of Change would be good. You can DM me that and I will get you the information. So this is a separate to a traditional vocal transformation retreat. So we're not sending out the newsletter emails and all that if you guys get that. It's a separate invitation and we're coming out just seeing who's really ready for this work. It's going to be a very deeply profound group of game changers, of people who are ready in the whatever world and work they're doing right now to begin to think for Earth, for humanity, for spirit, for all of it. And it's going to come with the teachings of the nature mystics to understand what our connection is. We're going to be doing tons of visualizations and meditations and work around the voice, but also just to get you to be able to feel that aspect of yourself and listen deeply in a space where we're there to hear what's coming up. And then the big part of the weekend that I'm so excited for is that we're all going to be sitting in ceremony together, and we're all going to be doing these healings together on each other, with each other, for each other. So it's going to be an opportunity for everybody that comes. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this call. You're going to have to hit us up separately if you have questions. But the healing that everyone will receive will be so profound. And with that, the launch pad for us all to come out as community and begin to implement changes and work towards the positive and the good instead of what we're all carrying under, like sitting under right now, is really the goal. So expect it to be hugely impactful. That's all I could say. Anytime I've worked with this man, it's been hugely impactful. And I've worked with a lot of teachers. So I come out really saying, if you feel the call, if your little heart is pitter pattering at all, just get there. It's the weekend of August 21st, and we will be sharing more information on this Instagram and in other places. Did that
Yeah,
question come through?
that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And there's a question: is the retreat online? It's probably fairly obvious from what Maryn just said. We are going to be shoulder to shoulder physically with this event. So please, if you feel inspired and you perhaps on the fence or need more information, like Maryn said, just reach out to us. It's something that has not been done in quite this way before, and we feel like it's time.
It's time.
I don't know if you all have been hearing the buzzing in the background, but we are in a 15-year cicada bloom, and these beautiful little relatives are just every place singing in the trees right now. It's almost completely deafening. And what's so interesting too is that in Chinese medicine, when they shed their skin, the actual casings are actually used in Chinese medicine to help people shed. So the symbol of that piece of our coming together is that we will be able to shed some things that may be getting in the way of our most powerful and most effective change making. Thank you, little cicada relative.
Yeah, thank you for that teaching. Yeah, and that's all wing, right? Like their voices are all coming from their like vibrating body, and their wing are making all of those noise, that sound, right? That like incredible sound. And then there's all this science around what's sitting. I remember I was in Costa Rica last year, and there was a huge cicada mating happening. And I remember there was no teaching that could be possible in that moment. We all just sat there, and we all just felt that through every cell of our body. And what that did for us, to like, the mind stopped. Our ability to just feel that, just the meditation we entered was so unbelievably deep altogether. And so yeah, to connect in that way is everything. I've been watching lately all of the different creatures, and how the full body goes into making the sound. I pay very close attention to voices, obviously. But that's really how we make our sound too, everybody. It's with every cell of our body. The human voice is the only instrument that requires every single aspect of what we are. It's every cell, it's all the water, it's all the nervous system, it's all the bone, all the tissue, all the muscle, the mind, and the brain that has to make the body. It's every piece of what we are, and our voice comes from our entire essence, our entire being. So if you're not currently in a state where you're using your voice in that way, that is why vocal transformation, and that is why this retreat in connection to the Pachamama, to really remember your connection to it all, to wake up your deepest instinctual intelligence, and to confidently empower it to begin to be the voice of change. Whatever you feel in your greatest soul that you will uncover during this retreat, that change should look like. for your life and for the world at large. And we're all just such an important player in this. Our vote, every one of us, I say it again, I know I already said it in this call, every one of us has the same vote. And that is how you show up and what energy you put forth into the world. And we all are responsible for that. And we are all sovereign over that. You used that word earlier, Jeff. That is the name of the game. It is sovereignty. Do you know whose voice you use? Who has influenced your voice throughout your upbringing so much that you actually don't even speak from what you truly are? Have you done the work to find that? And we are here to assist you in finding that. Yeah.
And perhaps some of you on this call today might uh, know others that might benefit from this. You know, one of the sort of groups of people that we are thinking that might really benefit is emerging leadership in change making organizations. You know, one of the things that characterizes both my work and Maryn's work is that we help people that are in positions of leadership and influence to source their decision making and their way of engaging with the imperative to change things in a much deeper and holistic way and a much more effortless way. And that's a really big deal right now, because how many of the people that we know that are on the front lines of change are perpetually exhausted, are perpetually traumatized, feel like they're carrying 1,000-pound pack on their backs. There is a different way. And one of the practical gifts that the work that we do together affords is a lessening of the load, a lessening of the burden, and also um, a greater font of inspirational resource, so that you can make more informed, better, more graceful decisions. So that's a big piece of this too, is that we really want to help people who are in the position of influence actually do their work more effortlessly and more from the heart. So if you
Mhm.
know anybody, direct them our way, because we would love to see those folks too.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I do a ton of work and you do a ton of work, and we meet all these people that are also, yeah, sometimes you could feel like the world is, it's hard. Like you're trying to make the change, you're trying to be the change, you're trying, and it's like, but it seems like the world around you is working against that, and it can be very exhausting. And so this is a great opportunity to connect into that energy and that essence and that true vitality to support that work. And yeah, send them, anybody. If any of you on this call feel like, oh, I know somebody who would absolutely love this, please send them our way. And I hope that some of you on this call will yourself be there, and that we get to meet you in person. There is nothing better than hugging my community. So when I see you all come up, and I see so many of the same names come up, and I'm so grateful for those of you who are paying attention to your voice, and who you're all here on the front line making that change. I know it, because you wouldn't be here otherwise. But it would be so nice to spend some in-person, in-flesh time with you, and give you hugs and share this together. And thank you so much, Jeff, for coming out today. And I'm going to plant a seed right now that we maybe have one more of these conversations before this retreat, so that we can go deeper even into what it is that what you're going to bring and what I'm going to bring. And just, I just love talking to you. So anytime I could steal with you is phenomenal.
Let's do that. Woo! Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Sending blessings back to you. I see some of what is coming through here, and it's just like sending you all so much munai, which is that love frequency that all of everything in nature responds to. So it's the love that goes beyond any definition. It's the love that beats in every beat of our heart and in every cell of our being. And we feel that for all of you out there always. And I hope you can take some of that with you today. Whatever your day might bring and whatever you might be out there facing, please know you are loved. Please know you are supported. Please know that spirit has got you and that earth has got you. And we really hope to see you in August. And if we can't see you then, we'll see you back on here soon. Thank you so
Yay,
much, Jen.
many blessings. Thank you, Maryn.
Have a
Blessings,
beautiful day.
everyone.